Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a brand new video for you guys. That's going to be me reacting to my Premier League predictions that I made back in the summer. Boys, so I think it's probably about 2 weeks ago now I made my video where I reacted to my League 1 predictions and I only managed to get 1 out of 24 correct there. Now I'm hoping that this time around I actually managed to do a lot better than that. But, let's see what happens. And in terms of if I've got any stinkers in there or not, I think I probably got about one. Actually, no, I think I probably got about 1 or 2. And that's probably it. Like, I don't think these Premier League predictions were as bad as the my League One ones. So, without further ado, let's get right into this. So, starting off with the bottom 3 in 25, Fulham, where in reality they actually finished 18th. So, in a way, I still got this one right because did they get relegated in the end? And they got relegated with a few games to go. So, you know what? I'll take that one. It wasn't the worst prediction ever. And they did do a little bit better than I thought they would do. So, fair enough. But we'll look back up next year. Probably will, let's be honest. 19th got West Brom. My first prediction actually got correct. I'm really happy with this one. Yeah, again, same for Fulham. Really, I mean, like West Brom. Second, Salmon Bridge was probably the bad move. I think if you kept it, you might have had a better chance of staying up. But yeah, I mean, Sam Allardyce came in and changed nothing, and now he's got relegation on the CV. So unlucky West Brom. I mean, like really used him prepared well in the fall. If I'm being completely honest. Finally, 18th, we do have Crystal Palace. Now, if I'm being honest, I thought Palace would have been in a lot more trouble than this than they actually were. I thought they would have ended up finally getting relegated, but no, they actually finished 14th. And Crystal Palace, I mean, Roy Hodgson's gone. Looks like it's going to be either Eddie Howe or Frank Lampard to get the job next year. It's going to be interesting next year for Palace. And to be honest, I mean, will Zaha leave finally? To be honest with you, I don't actually think Zaha will leave next year. I think he actually generally might stay now. I mean, Crystal Palace, I mean, like, you literally become the next Swansea, you just filling up the numbers. You're not really contributing to anything, really. So, one of these days, you're going to end up getting relegated, I'm afraid. And now we're going to be looking at the 17s. Yes, the 17s. So I thought we're finishing the bottom half of the table. And starting off with 17th, I've got Aston Villa. I thought Aston Villa would finish 17th. They finished 11th. So Aston Villa, I mean, like it's been a weird season from Aston Villa. I mean, they started out so well. I'm pretty sure they weren't doing the top 6 for so long, and then during the Christmas period, New Year period, like, they completely fell off, and they were doing so badly, and then this calendar year has been a bit of a weird one for Villa, but the finish 11th in the end, it's still considered a very good season, considering that many people thought that they would get relegated, and in reality they didn't. And in a way, I'm actually kind of happy with myself that I thought they would stay up. I mean, but like they were a lot more safe than I thought they actually were. Now 16th we got Leeds. This is another bad one. Leeds actually finished 9th. Leeds surprised everyone this season, I think. I mean, like I'm pretty sure some people thought they'd do a Wolves and have a really good season, finish in the top 10. Some of us like May thought they would survive, comfortably, and then I think maybe 1 or 2 thought that they might get relegated. Leeds, they've done well this season. They'll be very happy with 9th. But next year they'll either kick on and maybe try and qualify for Europe, or they'll get relegated. I don't know, but but Marcel Bielsa, I think with some investments in the transfer window to already build the squad, I think Leeds will probably have another very comfortable season next year. Now, 15th we got Brighton. They actually finished 16th, so that's 1 place out of Brighton. But let's be honest, Brighton should have done a lot better this season. Like, the amount of points they dropped because they couldn't take the chances was ridiculous. Literally, they should have finished a lot higher than 16th. They would be kicking themselves having such a underperforming season. And Brighton, if they had taken the chances, they probably would have finished like in 12th or 13th. So Brighton, although you finish 16th, if actually manage to bring in some people who know how to score a goal, then I think you probably have a much better season next year. Or then again, you could end up getting relegated. I mean, like literally, anyone like likes of Brighton, Leeds, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa could end up getting relegated next year, and it wouldn't surprise you at all. 45 Southampton. Now once again, one position out from them. Southampton actually finished 15th, but they would have finished 14th had Newcastle not won today, for fuck's sake. But yeah, I mean, I could have gotten this one so great, but I didn't, which is unfortunate. But oh well, Southampton finished 15th, and you know what? They're quite a huge decline in the Southampton. Literally, like, I'm pretty sure like, they're actually top for a while. Well, I'll say for a while, for like less than a day. I'm pretty sure like they were like 1st November and then literally just sort of plummeted down the table and ended up finishing 15th. Southampton, again, just like with the team mentioned before, you're going to be careful next season because you could end up finishing in the bottom 3. And honestly, once again, it won't surprise me at all. Now, 13th had Burnley. That's finished 17th. Now, Burnley, it's been a terrible season for Burnley. I mean, like, come out of last year, it's been an awful season. I mean, like, I know that they survived comfortably in the end, but I mean, like, tell you what, if this was any other season, Burnley would have gone down. Just because, like, I think this year, you can definitely say it's probably been the worst ever bottom 3 that the Premier League's ever seen. Just because, like, in the end, like, the gap between 17th and 18th is 11 points, and I don't remember having a season where it actually was that big. And the fact that all 3 teams were relegated with 3 games left to go as well is just, and I think that Burnley, and just like with another team I'm going to mention soon, had there been another season, they would have gotten relegated. So they're very, very lucky that the 3 teams below them were just that bad this season. And again, they could end up going down next year. I mean, like, a lot of teams like Burnley, Southampton, Brighton, Crystal Palace, Villa, even Leeds can end up getting relegated next year. It could definitely happen. Now, in 12th had West Ham. West Ham had a very, very good season. They actually finished 6th. Now, I knew a few people who thought West Ham would actually do worse than 12th. Of course, some people who thought West Ham would get relegated. But no, West Ham finished 6th, and they're going to be in the Europa League next season. So, fair play, West Ham. You've done really well this season. I mean, like, it's annoying seeing that David Moyes has got a team into Europe. That's not Sunderland. But, you know, fair play, West Ham. You've done well. But, like, next year could be a tough one. Europa League is a tough thing to handle, as well as the league campaign. Just, you know, just ask Arsenal. Ask Wolves in previous years. Even ask Leicester this year as well. Like, it can be tough. So, yeah, just wait and see West Ham. 11th I had Newcastle. They actually finished 12th. So, you know, before today, I was actually a few bits out with Newcastle, but, you know, then they finished in 12th. I don't know how they finished 12th. I mean, like, again, like Burnley, had Newcastle not had an amazing last month, and had it been a different year, they would have been relegated as well. Because it's been a terrible year for Newcastle. Absolutely disgraceful season from them. And, I mean, like, if they didn't sign Joe Willock, they would have finished like much lower than 12th. And I'll tell you what, again, like since Sir Maximum Wilson came back, they've been in good form, and they've done really, really well to finish the season the way they have done. But, you know, Newcastle, you know, next year you've got to probably sign a few more players. You know, you've got to sign Willock permanently, and you probably could have another comfortable mid-table. Well, I say comfortable, like actually have a comfortable mid-table finish. But yeah, it's been a real slug for Newcastle fans. I'm pretty sure that they're happy that's over. Now going into the 3 teams I thought would finish in the top half but not get European football. And 10th, I had Sheffield United. 2 years in a row now that the Sheffield United have completely embarrassed me in my predictions. Last year I thought he'd get relegated. He finished 9th, whatever it was. This year I thought he finished 10th. You know, actually he finished bottom, and probably one of the worst ever Premier League teams I've ever seen. Absolutely horrendous season from Sheffield United. The funny thing is, right, they didn't even win their first game until January. That's how long it took them to actually win a game. And in the end, they actually won more games than both West Ham and Fulham. To that it well, I mean, Sheffield United absolutely tore out the season, getting relegated to Championship, and guys, they aren't going back up. There's no way in hell they're going back up next season. I think they'll probably do Bournemouth. They'll probably end up finishing playoffs, but end up going out in the semi-final. So yeah, Sheffield United, they're not going up next year. 9th I had Leicester. Now Leicester actually finished 5th again, and once again for a second year running, they actually bottled top 4. But yeah, you know, like, I don't think Leicester fans will be too upset this time around, just because, like, you know, like they did win the FA Cup, so fair play to them for doing that. And again, you know, another 5th place finish. But next year has to be the year where they've got to be finishing top 4. That has to be next year, and if not, then you've got to start asking questions about Brendan Rodgers and that Leicester team. I'm sorry. And if I had Everton, I was so close with Everton. If they didn't mess up the day, then I would have had this one correct, because literally, like, before today, Everton were in 8th, but then they got beaten, finished 10th. Again, Everton being a disappointing season from them, like, literally, like Southampton, they had a massive fall from grace. Like, they're doing so well for a long time, and then turn of the year just went in horrific form, and to Everton, their home form let them down massively this season. Got to do better than that next year, without a doubt. But again, Everton, their team, they've got a lot. I mean, like, every year they spend lots of money and just don't do the business. And next year, if Everton don't do well, I can see Ancelotti walking out the door. If I'm being completely honest with you. Now I've got the 3 teams who I thought would finish in the Europa League place. I've got Wolves. So Wolves have had a pretty underwhelming season again. But you could say that's just because they had the Souls Jota, which ended up being a huge mistake, and also ended up by losing Jimenez through an injury, which definitely meant they were sort of dry for goals up front. But in the end they finished 13th. However, Nuno has gone. Bit of a weird one, if I'm being honest with you guys. I don't know why he's gone. I mean, like, I don't know if he's walked or been sacked. Hasn't been clear. I think he's been sacked. But yeah, so Wolves, it's gonna be an interesting year for them next year. They could. I mean, again, they can end up getting relegated next year. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they did. But yeah, next year's gonna be a tough year for Wolves, I think. Things have got Tottenham. They actually finished 7th. So I wasn't too far out on this one. But I mean, then again, it could have been a lot worse for Tottenham, or a lot better, because Tottenham season in excellent form. They were up there with Liverpool in the title race, and then completely just went out of form. We're literally in around 10th, 11th, but then managed to finish the season okay. I mean, sacking Jose Mourinho was a big mistake, especially before a cup final. Literally, your best chance of winning silverware in the last 13 years, and your attacking manager who's got a really, really good cup final record. Bad move from Tottenham, and Ryan Mason. I think he's only gonna be a temporary thing, kind of. Thank God, because he's not a manager, or at least he's not ready to be a manager. No way in hell. And finally, in 5th, we had Arsenal. Now, Arsenal actually finished 8th. And you know what's funny? Because Arsenal have actually been the second most informed team in 2021, behind Man City, which is, for Arsenal fans, it's kind of a kick in the arse, just because they had a terrible start to the season, and then this year, I mean, apart from the Europa League campaign, they've actually been decent enough. And I actually think next year, will they actually try to finish top 7 next year? Which, I mean, you've got to think is the absolute minimum for them. Next year, get in some actual decent players. Just get rid of all the dead wood. I think Arsenal could be in for a decent year next year. But, that could be up for discussion. Now, we're going to be ending things off with the top 4. And I thought I did have Manchester United. Now, they actually finished 2nd in the end. So it wasn't too far out. That awful start to the season. They're actually 15th, in November. But then turned around massively, and I think they're the 3rd most informed team in 2021. So United, finished 2nd place in the end, and you've got to think next year is going to be the year where they're actually going to be in that title race next year, because Solskjaer's he's improving every year. He's doing pretty well every year. So you've got to think next year has got to be the year where they actually start pushing for that league title, and I think it's going to be 9 years without a league title win. It will be soon anyway. So next year's got to be the year. Now, 3rd, I had Liverpool, and I'm actually pretty happy with this one because Liverpool actually did finish in 3rd. That's my 2nd prediction, absolutely spot on. And I'm happy with that. I knew Liverpool wouldn't do it as well this year. I mean, I didn't think that'd be as bad as what actually were for a point, but the Manchester recovery actually finished top 3 in the end. And despite apparently being one of the worst title events of all time, they ended up doing a lot better than most teams who have lost heart in the title have done. So I'll give credit for that. But maintain this year they've had some bad luck of injuries, and you got to think, had they not lost Van Dijk for the entire season, would they finish in the top 2 or maybe win the league again? I think next year is going to be a big year for Liverpool. I think next year, if they win the league title again, they've got to. I think they've definitely made their mark. And 2nd, I had Man City, who ended up winning the league in the end. But tell you what, Man City, what a recovery they've made. Which I think it's end of October, they were 10th, 11th, and then went on a 28 game winning streak in all competitions. They won the league, they won the League Cup, they got to the FA Cup semi-final, they're currently in the Champions League final. Man City could end up winning their first ever European Cup, which is going to be absolutely huge for them. And I think they'll do it. I think City will win the Champions League final. But actually will they? Because they've been that sort of out of form. But I think they probably will be ready for that final. I think they will win it. So close with that Man City prediction. And then lastly, I thought Chelsea would win the league, but they actually finished 4th. So, I actually managed to get the top 4 correct, just in just three of the positions wrong. And Chelsea, it's been a weird one this season. I mean, like, terrible start under Frank Lampard. Then Thomas Tuchel came in and he's done a fantastic job. And next year, you got to think, again, will Chelsea be in a title race next year? Next year, I don't make a bold prediction, but I think this year's top 4 will all be in the title race until the very latter weeks of the season. I think that's probably what will happen. I'm very excited for next year's Premier League. But yeah, guys, that's it for my predictions. Overall, I got 2 correct. I could have had a few more correct had today's results gone in my favour. I probably could have had like four predictions correct, so that's that. But this year, compared to last year, I did much better this year. And I'm very happy with how I've actually managed to do things, so I'll take that, definitely. Again, next year, I think, I mean, to be honest, I think this probably being like the most disappointing Premier League season of all time, just because the title race, I think, I'm pretty sure that this probably are like the most teams who actually finished top line. I'm pretty sure City were top, Liverpool were top, Tottenham were top, Everton were top, Villa were top, Southampton were top. I believe West Ham were there at one point as well. Leicester were there as well. I think even United might have been there. I think United won't win there. I think this year has been a very disappointing season, because it's all that's so promising, with all these teams in the title race, which end up being decided by March. So that was disappointing, and also with the relegation battle and the finishing so early as well. It's been a pretty disappointing season, and you got to hope next year is going to be a lot better. But we'll wait and see. So we are saying goodbye to Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United. And we are welcoming Norwich, Watford, and either Brentford or Swansea. And if you guys are wondering who I think will win the playoff final, I think it will be Swansea. So that's going to be that for this video. Hope you guys enjoy. If you did, leave a like. If you want to see some Euro content in the summer, I'm probably going to make a few videos on Euros games. I'm probably going to make my predictions for the group stages. Probably some England match reviews as well. So guys, stay tuned for those, guys. It's going to be pretty good. But anyway, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.